What up, YouTube? Graylan Stewart here again. It is Wednesday. The time goes by fast, y'all. So, thanks for joining me. This is my vlog day. So, I just kind of say whatever is on my mind and just kind of going through my day. So, I've got a Zoom meeting in about 30 minutes because I hired a follow up specialist a couple of months ago. But I'm also going to kind of cross train her into a couple of other little things, like my rental workspace, just to manage the messages because we get text messages and calls on our properties that I own, that are vacant or whatever. And I have some land and stuff like that that's vacant. So we get calls and text messages on those as well. And I'm just going to teach her how to work that workspace because she can do that simultaneous with the other workspace that we have. And also, I'm going to go over how to use the dialer that we have built into our Podium via smartphone. Because since she's a follow-up specialist, that's what she mainly does is calls all of our leads in Podium that were kind of older. They're all valid leads, and they were hot at one point in time. But for whatever reason, they weren't ready or whatever happened, they didn't sell the property to us, right? But they got into our system somehow, so they're definitely qualified, but they wouldn't be there. So that's her main job, is to call on those people. So I'm going to teach her how to use a dialer because she can get a lot further as opposed to, we do have the click to call dialer, but it'll go a lot further if she actually has the dialer, dialing for her the whole time. So, but she's definitely hungry to learn and to make money and things like that. So that's always good just to, train people that really want to do it. So that's always kind of rewarding too. But yeah, y'all, scaling is difficult sometimes. Well, all the time probably. Because in order to scale a business, not only do you have to have all your systems and processes in place, but you have to have the right people with the right mindsets in the right positions to truly kind of get to the next level, because it takes all of us. There's no way I could do all this on my own. Sure, I'm the brains behind it, if you want to call it that, because I built all of this. But I didn't do that alone because I've got other people that I rely on to help me along the way to do certain things. Like acquisition managers have to take those calls. Otherwise, we wouldn't make money. But I have to have the systems and processes in place for them to succeed as well, and the training. So that's probably one of the hardest parts, is probably like getting all that kind of locked down, I guess, just to make sure that everything makes sense, because it's like, yeah, sure, systems and processes, I talk about that a lot, and a lot of people probably do, but it's not as easy as that. It's like, how do you create systems and processes? In my opinion, the system is the whole operating system, I guess. Like Podium we use is our main system that we use as a CRM that literally runs our business. But Podium has to do certain things for that to run our business. Then I have to have people willing to use the Podium so that Podium does its job, right? Because there are tons of automations built in, which I don't even understand them all, because you got to do that on the back end. And there's something called Flow that you use in conjunction with Podium to kind of make all that work. I don't have a clue how to do any of that, nor do I want to know. I have a developer that does that for me. But there's so many different things going on, automations and things happening on the back end with everything that we do within Podium, every button that we push. I know you can't see this on the screen because I've got a 3-screen. It's just one big screen, but there's 3 screens up on it. And everything you push in Podium, not everything, but it all does something. We've got so many different buttons that you can push that does things. So that's what I'm saying. The system is, system and process is easy to say, but it's not easy to do because you got to know. That's why it's always a work in progress. I've had this Podium I've been working on since I started, basically. I spend money on it pretty much every month, and I always have. I'm probably getting close to 30 grand that I've spent on Podium thus far. And it's money well spent. That's made us at least a couple $1,000,000 since I've been in business, probably more than that. But yeah, you just kind of learn as you go, though, what you want your Podium to do. And once you figure that out, then you can start adding automations, to the certain things, because Podium, everybody does it differently. In my opinion, I think I have one of the best Podiums out there, because it's everything that you need in every position, because I have 10 different workspaces, and each workspace is different. I have acquisitions, dispositions, there's marketing, financial, texting workspace, rental workspace, transaction coordinating, a master workspace, etc. But it just takes time, y'all. That's the thing. Everybody wants to scale and get to gigantic numbers today, which I do too. But that's where it can mess you up too, because I tried that early on. Whenever I think I've told part of my story sometimes on some of my videos and some podcasts that I've been on. But my 5th month, I did 6 figures, and I was trying hard to figure out how to scale that, because I knew I couldn't just do that on my own. But I tried to do it too soon, I think, because you have to have the right people in place first. If you don't have the right people in place first, then how are you going to handle scaling? You can't. You have to have people ready to take leads, display managers ready to sell deals. You know what I mean? So I guess you kind of have to have money to scale, put it in place to where you can start paying people, or be ready to pay people right away as opposed to later. You know what I mean? Because you can't have tons and tons of leads coming in and you're trying to do all this as a one-man show. It just won't work like that. You'll end up losing a lot of money. So you have to have the right people in place, and that's hard too. You have to have the right training for those people to succeed. Acquisition manager is probably my hardest position that I've had to hire and train and keep people in, because a lot of people say they can do the job, and maybe they can, but if you're not a fast learner and you can adapt to the way we do things quickly, and you're not a good closer or good at follow-up, you got to be good at a lot of things: follow-up, closing, time management. You got to be able to use Podium, so typing, just all these little skills that add up to one big skill, the ultimate skill of closing. Not a lot of people are built for that. So that's been the hardest position to actually get going and sustain. I have one acquisition manager that's been with me over 2 years now, and but most of the others last 3 to 6 months, probably. It's not like I've had a ton of them, but I've had several along the way. It's just a hard position to do, if you're not really good at being organized and typing, because you got to type into Podium, kind of multitask here and there, because you do have different screens open, because you're comping properties, you're trying to take notes about the seller, you're also thinking what you're about to say to the seller, and then you're ultimately closing them and waiting for your payday on that. But you got to keep doing that every day so that you have that pipeline built up of interested leads that you can potentially close. Because the goal in my company is for every acquisition manager to get at least 4 to 5 contracts per month, and hopefully we close 3 to 4 of those per month, per acquisition manager. So if they all do that, they should make really good money. I mean, the ultimate goal is technically they should be able to get probably 6 or 7 contracts a month if they actually do the deal every day. They actually follow up every day, call new leads back if they don't get it live within 30 seconds to a minute. It's preferable, while they're hot. You got to get them while they're hot. That's the thing. That's why follow-up is so important, because you can have a lead come in today that's super hot, and you're like, okay, let me do some research and get back to you. And you don't get back to them for 3 days. That lead's no longer hot. the longer the lead sits there, the less likely you have of closing that deal. So that's why it's important to follow up like a boss, for real. That's not just a cute saying, that's a fact. Follow up like a boss to where whenever I was doing acquisitions myself, I would call the seller a couple of times a day, every day. I'm not calling them a week later. A week later is too late. I'm going to hound people to death until they either sell me their house today, or they tell me to never call them again, or they've already sold it. But even if they tell me never call them again, I'm going to call them again. Those are the ones I might wait a week. But that's what you got to do. You got to be super persistent and get on people all day, every day. So that's just what it takes in sales. I've been in sales most of my adult life, so highly successful at it. So that's what it takes. Relentless pursuit of deals, but just super persistent, nonstop, But anyways, so I've got a Zoom call, 30 minutes with my follow-up specialist that's going to just handle some of the rental stuff, which only takes a minute or two here and there when a text or call comes in. So it's pretty easy. That's why I'm kind of cross-training her, because I don't think that's not a position that needs a full-time person, because most of my properties are managed themselves because I do rent to own, but the vacant ones I just need to get filled. And oftentimes I don't have a ton of time to do that because I'm managing flips and running the business, things like that. So anyways, enough rambling on. That's pretty much what's on my mind today. That's what I'm working on today. Just going to train her for probably 30 minutes. Then I've got the house cleaner coming, so we're going to head to the basement. My wife and I, we have 2 different offices on the main level here. We're going to go down there while they clean and do their thing, and probably just try to work a little bit more down there. So anyways, that's really all I got today, y'all. So I guess the moral of today's vlog is, if you want to scale, you've got to have systems and processes, and it takes time to do that. And then you have to have the right people in the right seats willing to do whatever it takes to push you forward. So that's really it, guys. Drop me a comment if you got anything to say. I'd be glad to reply. And I'll see you guys next time. Please like and subscribe. See you later.